Welcome back everyone to this lecture discussion on the limit keyword. The limit command allows us to limit the number of rows returned for a query. It's useful for not wanting to return every single row in a table, but only view maybe the top few rows to get an idea of the table layout. Limit also becomes extremely useful in combination with the order by statement that we just learned about. Limit goes at the very bottom end of a query request and is the last command to be executed. Because essentially what the limit does is after you're done filtering with the where statement, ordering with order by and sorting, and any other sort of conditions or any filters you want to do on your query, the limit is just going to say, all right, how many rows do you want at the end of the day? So let's learn the basic syntax of limit through some examples. This should be pretty straightforward, and you should really be thinking about this in conjunction with order by in order to answer certain business questions. Let's jump over to pgadmin. Okay, here we are in pgadmin. Let's go ahead and explore this payment table again. First, what we could do is just select everything from the payment table. So I can say select everything from payment, and I get this variety of payment IDs, customer IDs, staff ID, rental ID, etc. And then I also get a payment date, which is a timestamp without a time zone, essentially just a day and then the hour, minute, and then second and milliseconds where this payment actually occurred. What we could do is order by this payment date in order to see either the oldest payments or the most recent payments. So what I can do is say select everything from payment and then say order by payment date. And if we run this on a timestamp, what's going to happen if we refresh this? Notice we get 2007-02-14. So this is in American formatting, meaning it's year, month, and then day. And if I want, I can either order this by default ascending to get 2007 to and then 14, or I could say descending, run this, and I see 2007-5-14, essentially 14th of May instead of 14th of February. So what this actually means is I can use order by in conjunction with limit to get the top n rows of something. So for example, I can answer the business question, what were the 10 most recent purchases in the payment table? So after I conduct my order by, I call in the limit keyword and then provide how many rows do I actually want. So if I just say 5, you'll notice here that right now it's returning everything if I scroll down here. If I say 5, run this, I keep scrolling down, but I only get 5 rows. So essentially what this answers is what were the 5 most recent rows or payments based off the payment date. So we can see the payment date here, and right now we're returning the 5 most recent payments. So this will allow you to get the top n of anything based off some column. So what we do here is just order by some column, and then limit it to the top n results that we want. And it's up to you whether you want to do ascending or descending, depending on the actual data type that we're looking at. So we can see here, in fact, some of these payment amounts were zeros. So what I could end up doing is also filtering it where the amount isn't 0. So we can start to get really nice complex queries here. So I can say select everything from the payment table, saying select all the columns from this payment table. And then right here, we're limiting it to the top 5 most recent ones based off payment date in descending order. So starting from most recent, descending to the historical data. And I could also then say where amount is not equal to 0. So we run this, and now I can see the 5 most recent payments where there was actually a monetary transaction and it wasn't just a $0 amount. So this is where we start to see much more realistic SQL queries. Given just the few commands we know, we can already answer lots of business questions. We can, in this case, select everything from the most 5 recent payments where the amount wasn't 0. All right, so hopefully that gives you an idea of the power of limit. And sometimes if you want, you can simply do something like select everything from payment limit 1 to just quickly get an idea of what this table actually looks like. This would show you what data types there are, such as integers, small integers, timestamps, etc., and an example of what these actually look like. So some people like to quickly run this sort of command in order to just see the general layout of a table. Okay, so that's it for this lecture on limit. It's a pretty straightforward thing. Limit just comes at the end, and you can limit the number of rows returned. Very useful in conjunction with order by. So let's test your skills in the next lecture where we talk about some order by challenges. I'll see you there.